There are people living in your city right now that you have never truly seen. They walk past you every single day, yet their individual stories remain completely hidden from view. Their lives seem erased by the sheer silence surrounding their daily existence. This is the hidden universe that exists just behind the world we think we know. It is a world filled with workers, survivors, elders, migrants, and forgotten souls building our society. If you feel like you understand your city completely, then watch this, because it will fundamentally change everything. Behind every shining landmark structure lies a community that society frequently refuses to acknowledge. These people are not actually hidden from us. We have simply stopped making the effort to look closely. The most powerful stories are often not the loudest ones, but those lived quietly right beside us in the shadows. What if the most inspiring narratives humanity will ever hear are the ones that no one ever takes the time to listen to? This is Infoxe, a hub for information, facts, and thoughtful solutions. In today's deep dive, we are setting out to truly discover the invisible communities that shape our world. Invisible communities profiles. We are uncovering the untold stories of people we often fail to see every day. Across every city, street, and village exist people who live intentionally in the margins of mainstream society. These are the invisible communities whose names disappear from official records and whose experiences drift silently beneath the noise. This documentary exploration dives deep not to expose them, but to honor their existence and give them a voice. We aim to remind the world that behind every unnoticed face is a universe of struggle, dreams, and incredible resilience. The authentic stories you are about to hear are not fiction, but reflections of millions of overlooked lives. Chapter 1 begins by asking a fundamental question. What actually makes a community categorized as invisible? True visibility isn't just about what the eyes can register. It's about being counted, respected, and fundamentally understood. A community often becomes invisible when their daily struggles are consistently ignored by the wider public. Their essential contributions to society are frequently overlooked because their names are never remembered in the headlines. Invisibility happens when groups simply do not fit into society's neat, recognized, or established categories. Sometimes, people actively choose to disappear into the background to ensure their personal safety or survival. Furthermore, entire histories and cultures can effectively be erased through conflict, displacement, or economic collapse. These overlooked groups exist everywhere, from the alleyways behind the grandest skyscrapers to the quietest remote villages. Chapter 2 focuses on the street children, who represent one of the largest invisible communities on our entire planet. They grow up much faster than they should and learn to trust others significantly slower than most people ever will. We see them selling small items at traffic lights or polishing shoes simply because necessity demands it. The world often views them not as children, but sadly, as mere problems or unavoidable stray elements. Their fundamental humanity gets blurred away into the general background noise of everyday city life. But if you look truly closely, behind the dirt you can still see a child whose eyes retain a certain shine. Behind the tough expression is a young heart that has already learned to survive storms most adults could never imagine weathering. Every quick step a child takes is likely a movement away from something terrible, like hunger, abuse, or simple abandonment. These children are not inherently invisible. It is our collective choice to simply stop seeing their reality. Chapter 3 examines the migrant workers who built the massive cities they themselves can never afford to truly enter. Every single skyscraper has a hidden foundational support system, made not of concrete, but of human effort. Millions of laborers leave their families for years, even decades, to construct the proud centers of urban life. They are the silent, invisible engines powering development in construction, transportation, and the food supply chain. Yet, the world only knows them by their first name, their worker ID number, or their daily wage payment. Their deeply personal stories rarely ever reach the general public's awareness. We see the man who has not held his child in years, or the woman sending almost every dollar back home to support them. These invisible populations don't always live on the street. Sometimes they hide in plain sight, near the buildings they created. Chapter 4 addresses the ancient indigenous cultures currently existing between the fading memory and complete extinction. Across diverse terrains, there are civilizations older than modern documented history, yet erased from today's mainstream conversations. Many of these groups live without any real digital presence, political representation, or modern media coverage. Their unique languages are sadly fading away yearly as the younger generation assimilates into the dominant urban culture. Their sacred lands are shrinking continuously due to relentless development, resource extraction, and the ongoing effects of climate change. They are invisible because the current world prioritizes fast progress over necessary cultural preservation. However, their wisdom is deeply ancient, understanding nature as a sacred, interconnected relationship. They treat the earth not as a simple resource to be exploited, but as a living, vital family member to be cherished. If humanity carelessly loses these cultures, we collectively lose an irreplaceable foundational part of ourselves. Chapter 5 addresses the epidemic of loneliness among the elderly, who live alone in cities of millions. In sprawling metropolises, profound loneliness has quietly become one of the largest, most pervasive invisible epidemics affecting people. Millions of seniors live completely alone, forgotten by busy families and ignored by the complex social support systems. Their quiet days often pass by in a total silence, punctuated only by the ticking of an old clock. We see them preparing a simple cup of tea for only one, or staring out at a very busy street below. There are conversations they constantly rehearse in their minds that they never actually get the chance to speak aloud. These people paved the roads, built the businesses, carried the weight of history, and now exist like fading, quiet shadows. Remember that invisible communities can literally be living right next door to you, in the very next apartment unit. Chapter 6 explores the digitally invisible, those who have absolutely no online existence in our modern age. In this hyper-connected era where digital identity often defines social existence, many people simply lack any of it. This includes families without reliable internet, remote villagers without digital literacy, or the homeless without a personal device. They do not appear in trending online debates, government statistics, or targeted digital advocacy campaigns. To modern algorithms and search engines, these populations effectively do not exist in the data stream. As the digital world expands rapidly, so too does the dangerous gap we call the digital divide. Chapter 7 discusses the communities living with invisible disabilities and the silent suffering they endure daily. There are many types of disabilities you can see with your eyes, and countless others that remain entirely hidden from view. Millions live among us struggling with chronic pain, deep depression, anxiety disorders, or unresolved trauma. These individuals walk among us, manage to smile through incredible internal storms, and work through crippling exhaustion. They socialize publicly, while silently drowning in battles that no one else present is even aware of. Because their suffering is often invisible to the casual observer, society rarely offers the necessary recognition or validation. Yet, for these people, every single day is a quiet, personal battle that must be fought and won. Chapter 8 shines a light on the vast world of the informal workforce that keeps entire economies running. These are the people who diligently collect recyclables, sweep the streets before the first hint of sunrise, and clean up after celebrations. They carry loads that appear physically heavier than their own bodies, often without any official protection or safety gear. They fix broken appliances, repair worn shoes, and run essential micro-businesses from cramped, improvised market stalls. Their economies operate entirely outside of official records, forming the essential backbone of many nations quietly in the background. When the rest of the world is sleeping soundly, this workforce is already busy making things function for the next day. Despite serving everyone, society often treats their massive contribution like an insignificant footnote in the grand scheme. Chapter 9 explores those particular communities who intentionally choose invisibility as their ultimate form of survival. Not all invisibility is tragically forced upon people. Sometimes, it is a necessary conscious decision for self-preservation. This category includes persecuted groups, undocumented refugees seeking safe passage, and women fleeing immediate domestic danger. For these brave individuals, remaining unseen is their only fragile shield between a safe life and unimaginable peril. Their immense courage is often invisible to the outside world, and their necessary silence keeps their suffering locked inside. Chapter 10 asks why these deeply important stories of the unseen deserve our immediate and full attention. Being invisible is not just a temporary condition. In many ways, it is a deep and lasting societal wound. When a community is perpetually invisible, they often do not receive the urgent help or resources they critically need. They are perpetually excluded from the vital decisions that directly impact the course of their own lives and futures. Their ongoing silent suffering slowly becomes tragically normalized to a society that has simply grown accustomed to looking away. Their significant cultural contributions are constantly undervalued, and their essential humanity is quietly erased from public memory. This entire documentary is not merely about pointing out problems, but about actively rebuilding essential awareness across our culture. The ultimate goal is restoring the dignity that has been denied for far too long, and creating necessary visibility where silence has reigned. Chapter 11 delivers a direct and personal message to you, the engaged viewer watching this content right now. Today, you will walk past these invisible communities many times while going about your necessary daily routines. You will stand directly next to them in the grocery line or drive past them on your regular commute to work. But starting right now, you have the power to see all of them through an entirely different and more compassionate lens. Perhaps you might even decide to look a second time, offer a brief, genuine smile, or acknowledge their quiet existence. You might find yourself feeling a wave of sincere gratitude for the hidden labor and the culture they carry with them daily. True visibility is not an abstract concept. It is a direct action that begins right now, and it begins only with you. Chapter 12 explains the ultimate purpose behind sharing this necessary and often difficult footage with the public. This content is not designed to make you feel mere pity for their situation. It is specifically meant to force you to truly see them, because the moment you truly see an invisible community, they instantly cease to be invisible to you forever. You might forget about the latest advancements in technology or the abstract concept of wealth, but the right story stays with you. Every single invisible community carries thousands of potent, soul-touching stories that are simply waiting for an audience to hear them. Thank you for taking the time to watch this informational piece, and we sincerely hope you enjoyed the content. If this video resonated with you in any way, please consider hitting that thumbs up button to show your support. We look forward to seeing you again very soon with our next amazing informational presentation. Goodbye for now.